Urgent New York Giants fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest New York Giants updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Alright, Giants fans, settle in, because today we have some explosive news that could shake up the entire NFC East. We're talking about a blockbuster trade rumor involving one of the Giants' most promising young stars, and the potential for this to change the landscape of the team moving forward. But before we dive into the details, let's set the stage with a little context about where the Giants stand right now, because this isn't just about a single player, it's about the bigger picture, about the direction this franchise is heading, and about the bold moves that could define the next chapter of Big Blue's story. Now, as many of you already know, the Giants have been on a bit of a roller coaster in recent seasons. After a couple of lean years, they've started to show signs of life under the coaching of Brian Daboll, a coach known for his innovative play calling and ability to maximize the talent he has on the roster. Despite some ups and downs, the team has been trending upward, and there's an undeniable sense of optimism among the fanbase that this team is building towards something special. But, as you all know, in the NFL, change can come quickly, and teams are constantly adjusting their rosters to stay competitive, to find that edge, that secret ingredient that might push them over the top. One of the key pieces of this puzzle has been the Giants' defensive front. They've invested heavily in trying to bolster their pass rush, which has historically been an area where they've struggled. Enter Kayvon Thibodeaux, the dynamic edge rusher from Oregon, selected 5th overall in the 2022 NFL Draft. Thibodeaux brought with him a lot of hype, a ton of potential, and a reputation as one of the most explosive pass rushers to enter the league in recent years. And, let me tell you, in his rookie season, he showed flashes of brilliance. His combination of speed, agility, and relentless motor made him a nightmare for offenses, and fans quickly fell in love with his high-energy play. However, like many young players, Thibodeaux's development has been a work in progress. Still, he's demonstrated enough to suggest that he could become a cornerstone of the Giants' defense for years to come. And that's exactly why the Giants made a strategic decision recently. They exercised the 5th-year option on his rookie contract, which is worth around $46.1 million. This move signals that the team is committed to Thibodeaux, wants to see him grow, and most importantly, wants to keep him in New York for at least 2 more seasons. But here's where things get interesting. Despite this commitment, rumors have been swirling around Thibodeaux's future. Of course, NFL trade rumors are part of the off-season landscape, constantly buzzing, always speculative. Yet, some of these rumors are backed by real whispers that suggest Thibodeaux could be a target for other teams, especially those looking to strengthen their pass rush without giving up too much draft capital. And one team that's been mentioned more than once in this context is the Green Bay Packers. Yes, the Packers. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking: why would Green Bay want Thibodeaux? Well, if you look at their recent draft strategy, it's clear that Green Bay is still trying to rebuild their pass rush. They drafted Baron Sorrell in the 4th round this year, but that's more about adding depth than replacing a star. The Packers are a team that's always looking for that next game-changing player, especially on defense. And Thibodeaux, with his exceptional raw talent and upside, fits that mold perfectly. According to reports from Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox, the Packers might be exploring a trade that could involve a package centered around one of their key players, Jaire Alexander, the All-Pro cornerback. Now, Jaire Alexander is a top-tier defensive back, and the idea of trading him might seem bold, but in NFL terms, it's not unheard of. Teams sometimes swap star players to acquire a young, high-upside pass rusher like Thibodeaux, especially if they believe it will accelerate their rebuild. Imagine the scenario: the Giants, who are high on Thibodeaux and see him as a foundational piece, might consider trading him if the right offer comes along. And if that offer involves a player like Alexander, who's still relatively young and at the top of his game, it's a trade that could make sense for both sides. For the Giants, acquiring a premier defensive back could help solidify their secondary, which has been a bit inconsistent at times. For the Packers, bringing in Thibodeaux would give them a much-needed boost along the defensive line, potentially transforming their pass rush from mediocre to elite. Now, I want to pause here for a second. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. Because, folks, this isn't just speculation, it's about strategic moves that could reshape the NFC playoff picture. The Giants are in a position where they're trying to balance developing their young talent, like Thibodeaux, with the need to add proven veterans to accelerate their growth. Trading away a player like Thibodeaux might seem risky, but if the right package comes along, it could be a smart move, especially if it helps them address other areas of need. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate what Thibodeaux brings to the table. As a player, he's not just a high draft pick, he's a game-changer with a rare blend of athleticism and instinct. His pass-rushing repertoire is impressive, with a variety of moves that allow him to get to the quarterback in multiple ways. His ability to set the edge and contain the run is equally valuable, making him a versatile threat on every snap. Plus, as he gains more experience, his football IQ continues to grow, and he's developing into a leader on this young Giants defense. But beyond the individual talent, it's about the team's long-term strategy. The Giants' front office has shown they're willing to make bold decisions, and they're not afraid to shake things up if it means they can improve the roster. The recent exercise of Thibodeaux's fifth-year option is proof of that. It's a vote of confidence, but it also sets the stage for potential negotiations or even trades if teams come knocking with attractive offers. Looking at the bigger picture, the Giants' defense as a whole is trending upward. They've added pieces through the draft and free agency, and the development of young players like Thibodeaux, Dexter Lawrence, and Leonard Williams is crucial. The secondary has also seen improvements, though there's always room for more. The team's coaching staff has been emphasizing a more aggressive, disciplined style of play, and that's reflected in the increased pressure on opposing quarterbacks. And speaking of the season ahead, expectations are high among Giants fans. This team isn't just trying to improve, they're aiming for the playoffs, maybe even a deep run. The NFC East remains competitive, with the Eagles and Cowboys always in the mix, but the Giants have shown resilience and the ability to surprise. The key will be consistency on both sides of the ball, and that's where players like Thibodeaux can really make a difference. Now, let's talk about the draft itself for a moment. The Giants also invested in linebacker Abdul Carter from Penn State, a player with a high ceiling who could develop into a future star. That shows the team's commitment to building a well-rounded defense, not just relying on a few stars but cultivating a strong, cohesive unit. It's a testament to their strategic approach, drafting for both immediate impact and long-term growth. Back to the trade rumors, though, it's important to remember that nothing is set in stone. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and teams are always exploring their options. If a trade involving Thibodeaux does happen, it would be one of the biggest stories of the summer. It would also tell us a lot about the direction the Giants are willing to go, whether they're all in on building around their young stars or open to bold moves to accelerate their contention timeline. And let's not forget the human element here. Thibodeaux is a talented player, yes, but he's also someone who's just starting to tap into his potential. The decision to trade him would not only be about football strategy but also about the team's vision for the future and how they see their roster evolving. Fans will have strong opinions on this, and that's what makes NFL offseason so exciting: the uncertainty, the speculation, the anticipation of what's to come. As we look ahead, it's clear that the Giants are in a pivotal moment. They're trying to strike the right balance between developing their core and making strategic moves to challenge the division rivals. The potential trade of Thibodeaux, whether it happens now or later, is a storyline that will dominate conversations in the NFL world. It's a testament to how quickly things can change in this league, and how every decision can have ripple effects that last for years. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think the Giants should hold on to Thibodeaux and build around him? Or do you believe that trading him for a player like Jair Alexander or other pieces makes sense to bolster the roster immediately? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of the Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more inside scoops, and more analysis on what's happening in the world of Big Blue. So stay tuned, stay excited, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Giants!